Sucked forcefully into an oil-coated 30-inch underwater pipeline at immense speed, these 5 men found themselves in an unimaginable waking nightmare. But only one of them would live to tell the tale.
They survived.
Trinidad? Oh, well, I guess that's not a bad guess.
It was the flag on his shoulder. The
man,
flag.
Let's see what Pereira is, man.
The flag on his shoulder was Trinidad, if I'm not wrong.
It says a city of France, I believe. But these look like Indian men, though. I don't know. Maybe they just, I don't know.
He had the Trinidad flag on his shoulder, right there. That's the Trinidad
found
flag.
Themselves in an unimaginable waking nightmare.
But they look Indian.
But only one of them would live to tell the tale. A GoPro camera mounted on one of the divers recorded the exact moment disaster struck. What it unveils will send shivers down your spine.
How did they get him out?
On February 25th, 2022, at the Berth 6 platform in Pointe-à-Pierre, what it unveils will send shivers down your spine. On February 25th, 2022, at the Berth 6 platform in Pointe-à-Pierre, the men of LMCS, Faisal Kurban, Kazim Ali Jr., Rishi Nagasar, Yusuf Henry, and Christopher Boudram were tasked with maintenance work on a dormant pipeline. The pipeline belonged to Paria Fuel Company, a government-owned oil company in Trinidad and Tobago.
You were right again, man.
The pipe in question was a 30-inch U-shaped pipeline which runs along the seabed. It was designed to transport oil from Berth 6. Ships unload their oil to Berth 5, the refinery.
Look how long this pipe
was involved. The 5-person diving team were well prepared. A government-owned oil company in Trinidad and Tobago. The pipe in question was a 30-inch U-shaped pipeline which runs along the seabed. It was designed to transport oil from Berth 6, where ships unload their oil, to Berth 5, the refinery. While some risk was involved, the 5-person diving team were well prepared and experienced divers. The team placed an air tube inside a diving bell, a unique habitat shaped like an 8-foot cube. The diving structure provided a dry workspace for the LMCS maintenance team. LMCS installed the cube structure over the pipe at Berth 6 to displace the water inside the work area. The cube created a pressure pocket of air that forced out the ocean water to create an appropriate workspace. Once ready, this work area allowed the crew to remove their diving gear and safely use their tools to perform their essential work. Undoubtedly, they had completed the procedure hundreds of times. As the 5 veteran divers performed their duties, it was business as usual. Until it wasn't. The company installed an inflatable plug 2 weeks earlier to protect the pipe's oil and prevent contamination. The line wasn't in service then, though it could be put into service when needed. The industry calls this dead legs, and it isn't without its risks. While this is standard procedure, the process requires intense planning, process hazard risk assessment, and close monitoring. Preparing for maintenance jobs like this can take days, if not longer. Unfortunately, this likely means the oil company wasn't willing to prepare for a safe operation. But like most employees, the 5 divers were following orders. The divers descended to their work site, unaware of the surprise. As it turns out, inflatable plugs like this are pressurized, holding back the high-pressure air in the diving bell and the low-pressure air in the pipe itself. These events created the formula for disaster. Once Ali Jr. handed a wrench to his crewmates in the diving bell, they began loosening the valve to release the plug. The 5 divers had no warning. As soon as they released the plug, the pressure difference turned the inside of the pipe into a relentless vortex, ruthlessly sucking in air, water, people, and equipment into its depths. The power of the suction was too strong, and a torrent of water surged into the diving bell, turning their sanctuary into a death trap. The sudden influx of water and pressure differential unleashed a force that yanked the men and their tools into the narrow pipeline. In the blink of an eye, they found themselves hurtling violently through a whirlpool of water and oil for an agonizing 90 seconds, fighting for oxygen. Suddenly, they came to a stop. They gathered themselves, and assessed their positions in the
This
pipe,
is insane.
realizing the gravity of their situation. They discovered that the violent tornado of water, air, and oil left them settled somewhere in the line where an air pocket allowed them to breathe.
Goodness.
The sole survivor, Christopher Boudrum, vividly recounts how it went down.
Tornado, everything just spinning and beating you up, and it happened so fast. I couldn't react. The only thing I remember able to do was cover my head, like in the fetal position. After that, all I remember, I didn't even remember actually getting pulled in the pipe. I just remember going hurled through the pipe at unbelievable speeds. I couldn't hold my breath no longer, man. Throat. When you're holding your breath for too long, after a while, your body, your lungs just fight. Yeah, your waist closed, you see a noise.
Goodness.
Your body suffering to pull air. An unbelievable nightmare. Your eyes burning. Every time you try to open your eyes, it's burning. You're pitch black, you can't see nothing. Your throat burning. Your ears ringing. Your body sore. And at that point, I tell myself I was going to dead.
Their struggle for survival was only beginning. The men were trapped inside a 1,200-foot-long oil pipe, disoriented, injured, and in absolute terror.
That's horrible.
Amidst this
That is
chaos
insane.
and fear, the men tried to communicate and keep each other's spirits up. However, the reality of their situation squashed down any hope of survival. The GoPro that had been with them for the dive recorded every second of their plight, capturing the sheer terror and sounds of struggle as the men fought for their lives. Chris initially believed that they had been hurled through the pipe head first, so they had to crawl backward to make it out of the pipe. But Kazim, Yusuf, and Faisal were sure they had gone in foot first, so he trusted the judgment of the majority. As the least injured diver, Chris placed his feet on Kazim's shoulders. He then instructed Kazim to pull the rest of the group together and instructed Faisal to push everyone since he was at the back. Linked together as a chain with Chris in front, they started trying to make it out of the pipe. Squeezing their way through thick, slippery oil residue and pitch-black darkness was unbearable. Dealing with
That's the
broken
worst.
bones,
That's literally the
burning
worst
eyes,
situation
a
you've ever
burning
been in.
throat, and extreme discomfort weighed them down. Their progress was excruciatingly slow, and the end was nowhere in sight.
Pitch
The men
black.
kept praying and
This is
moving to the best of their
horrible.
abilities. They eventually
torture,
came across
bro.
2 oxygen tanks with the regulators still attached. Chris informed the men that breathing the air inside the pipe could make them delirious and nauseous. He advised them to take small sips from the tank in intervals to keep clear oxygen in their system. Although they found oxygen tanks, water levels rose as they progressed.
This is like the
Christopher
worst.
noticed
This
that
is a
some
horror
group
movie.
members struggled to breathe and suffered various injuries.
So what makes it worse to
I'll
me
be
is
panicking. I can't be confined like that.
if they end up going the wrong way, then they're probably gonna die.
Yeah.
So they have to pick the
They
right way.
don't.
To
They
go.
don't know though.
Yeah, I know. So it's kind of like a
it's
guess.
dark. You
Terrible.
can't see shit.
3
This is like a horror
Soccer
movie.
fields?
If
3
I could pick,
football
if I
fields?
could probably pick like
That's sad, bro.
like top ways not to die, this would be it.
Oh, this would be one for sure.
This is like the worst.
you really
way.
got just
oh my
trapped.
gosh.
No, this is
bro.
insane.
They
This
get
is
out.
Horrible. One dude.
I'll tell you, it's on the level of
Only one
submarine.
dude got out.
They said
Yeah.
that like 3 times.
Yeah. You finna see, man. No,
Yusuf.
Yeah, we gonna see.
Though they found oxygen tanks, water levels rose as they progressed. Christopher noticed that some group members struggled to breathe and suffered various injuries. Others were blocked and unable to move. He decided to check how much the water would rise if they continued. As he moved forward, Chris came to a horrifying discovery. The next segment of the pipe was entirely underwater, and with just 2 oxygen tanks for 5 individuals, it wasn't safe to proceed any further. Knowing this, Chris had to make the hardest decision of his life. He had to continue alone to get help for everyone. Chris prepared himself to tell the others. After explaining the situation to them, they agreed it was their only chance and gave Chris one of the oxygen tanks. Chris promised that he would get help and come back for them, and left. Still not entirely sure if he was going in the right direction, and how much air he had left in the tank,
my
he
gosh.
swam through the submerged section with the tank in front of him, hoping he would find another air pocket soon. The entire pipe had flooded sections, and some contained air pockets. After fighting to make his way underwater, he realized his oxygen was running out based on his air quality. With his diving instincts in overdrive, he breathed the last air in his tank. As if fate intervened, his tank collided with another metal object before him. It was another oxygen tank.
What?
He quickly tried to find the new tank's regulator. After scrambling in pitch black, he finally found it, but the regulator had no mouthpiece, so he pushed the whole thing in his mouth.
Full
His
with
mouth
oil.
was covered in oily sludge. He managed to take a relieved breath from the tank. He knew he couldn't stop and continued with all his strength, uncertain how long he could survive. As he clambered through the pipe, he finally entered another air pocket. Yet, instinctively, he knew his only escape was returning to the riser. Unfortunately, this section of the pipe was half full of water. He found another air tank and reached the last flooded section before the riser. At this time, he heard Faisal calling out his name. He had been following Chris. He asked Chris to wait before he entered the last flooded section, but Chris told him he couldn't wait any longer. They had been in the pipe too long, and that their time was running out. He continued until he found the bend in the pipe that he hoped would lead to salvation. After what seemed like hours, this next decision would decide his fate. This was the moment of truth. Either this was berth 5, which was sealed off by a plug, or this was berth 6, where they came from.
Yes.
He made up
This
his
is
mind
insane.
for the third time to die. With one last push of determination, he kicked off towards the riser. As Chris continued to swim, he realized how tired he was, but he was determined to make it out and save his crew.
Wow.
Chris eventually reached the top of the pipe. Though he survived the ordeal, it wasn't over yet. As Christopher recounted the situation to the medical care staff, he recounted as many details as possible about the men and their position. Unfortunately, the rest of the LMCS team couldn't believe Christopher's story. The company assumed that the pipeline was full of oil and that any oxygen tanks they had would only give them an hour of air each. Rescue divers from the LMCS team dove down and knocked on the pipe, trying to find where the men were. They received the satisfying sounds of someone knocking back, undoubtedly providing the trapped men hope. But the LMCS team had yet to find a way to get them out. As the hours ticked by, the 4 injured divers
cut the
suffered
pipe.
through their
Oil
injuries,
gonna go everywhere in the
dealing
water.
with dwindling
Yeah.
air, a curtain of suffocating oil fumes, rising seawater, and carbon dioxide. Though it seemed that Pariah Trading Company and LMCS would initially save the 4 men, a rescue never came. The company pulled the 4 remaining bodies days after the incident
That's
began.
the worst part.
They performed autopsies, but no one could agree on when each man died. Officials decided they survived until Saturday, but some speculated that one endured until Monday. Officials launched a commission of inquiry
That's
in
terrible.
Trinidad and Tobago to investigate the circumstances that led to the Pariah diving tragedy.
This is
Because
horrific.
everything inside me open, I rescue you.
He's a hero, bro.
Everything inside me open, I rescue what's going on.
He did everything he could. Bro, he came out of a pipe and they couldn't go help him. The company could not go help him. He did everything he was supposed to do to help those men. He's a
did.
hero, bro.
That's
That's insane.
So they just didn't. It was about the money. They didn't want to lose the oil.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
it
like,
could be
it
that.
would have contaminated the ocean.
Yeah, it would have done that. But I mean, those
but
are
I
human
mean, there's
lives.
5 people in there.
You know, I mean, I don't know.
I wonder why they just couldn't go
the
there.
whole ocean.
Why they just couldn't
I
go
don't
back
know,
down
bro.
there with like a new
Shit, they had an oil spill.
But
for
like,
days.
bro, you're gonna go back
How
down through the
they
pipe. You
gonna get him
can't. You
that?
can't go back down through the pipe, bro.
Yeah.
A person
You don't-
can't go down there.
You don't think they can
and
go back
drag
down?
them out?
Yeah, no, that would be stupid.
They have to cut the pipe. That's
then
what
who
the
wants
pipe
to do
has
that, you know?
That's the only way is to cut the pipe.
Who wants to go do that? Somebody said, "Hey, Todd, Go down there, you know. You
No,
gonna do
you
it?
have to
If
cut
it's my
the
homie,
pipe.
I'm gonna do it.
You gotta
Yeah.
cut the pipe.
Cutting the
You gotta
pipe
cut
is
the
the only
pipe.
way. I wouldn't
Let
go
the
back in
fuck the
there.
oil, fuck the ocean.
But
You gotta
then
get them out.
they're gonna be contaminated with oil, but they already are.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
gonna
mean-
kill a lot of marine life.
It's gonna-
though.
Yeah, it would.
Man, fuck that marine life.
Nah, no, bro.
The ocean
it's
is
sad.
70% of the earth.
The worst part here is that the company like just said F it. They heard the knock
They didn't want to lose the money.
Yeah,
and
that's
said
crazy.
F it.
They did not want to lose the oil
That is
money,
the saddest
bro.
shit
Yeah,
ever,
that's
man.
terrible.
That is insane, but are we sure that is true?
What?
That's
I mean-
my theory.
I don't know.
I would say
Based on the
that-
facts that I've been presented. Because if you hear where they're knocking, they couldn't find them, and then they lost knocking, and it was too late to cut it. Because that must have been the plan. Because why are you even down there?
you
then?
dive there? Yeah, who's the one
That
that
must have
died?
been the plan then.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He probably that's crazy to have somebody go down there to search for somebody and then find them. And then
And
say,
he hurting because
They
he know how
over
they
with.
feeling in there too.
That's crazy to me. Somebody should go to
Because
jail for
everything
that.
inside my open, I rescue you. Everything inside you open, I rescue what's going on. Nobody was making an attempt to rescue me. I always somebody who doesn't know what's going on, and I was always somebody who could control and see things through, and I feel.
No, you didn't. They failed.
Damn.
They failed you.
First time watching this, I try not to cry, guys.
Goodness, this is horrible.
I did watch it. I couldn't believe it. This is sad, bro.
This is heartbreaking.
I want to get more information. How did y'all not hear them?
Like,
Well, y'all
The-
did.
the
It's only
submarine
1,200 feet
situation-
You gotta search.
it was conspiracies on that. This
is
is for real.
footage, yeah.
I mean, but the other one could be, both real situations. But we see this. This happened.
Somebody messed up bad by putting that thing in there and letting them
Oh,
go
yeah.
and do this.
Now, I respect people that do like these type of jobs now on another level, bro.
They get paid a lot to do
Dude,
this.
Lots of risk there.
look, it's gonna show up, man. Happened that quick.
Wow.
That wasn't even a second.
As soon as they.
He did sound Trinidad. That's insane, man. This is insanely sad.
This is horrible.
I tried to come up.
Y'all gotta turn this off. This hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt.
All right behind you. You're right behind me. You don't know when to come up.
Chris is a hero,
This
man.
sucks.
He has to live through that pain through the rest of his life.
Come on, all that we let's figure it out. We gotta go. We gotta start moving.
He got broken bones.
That is the most.
The fact that they
excruciating-
recovered the footage.
It was attached to him.
I know, bro.
I
They
feel
found the
like
bodies.
They
They
should have
found
just
the bodies.
cut
I'm
the
pretty sure.
pipe.
Yeah, they should've
How
just
did they
cut
get the bodies out?
Yeah, that's a great
I
What
question.
was
think
the
it might have
method for
came
that?
through. It might have came through. I don't know.
They probably use pressure again.
They should have just cut the pipe.
Gotta cut the pipe, bro. They should have just cut the whole damn pipe everywhere. And plus, if they start cutting the pipe, they gonna hear them cutting the pipe. They gonna go that way.
Yusuf,
But if you cut the pipe, all the water might come through, and you deep in the pipe. How you gonna swim out?
you and fight once together all the time?
Huh? They cut the pipe, water flows through.
Who else with you?
They
There's
don't
a lot
got
of problems with cutting the pipe.
a ton of problems.
Right there, way. Can't everything alright with you? No. And yeah,
Damn, this shit fucks me up every time.
Your leg, alright. Fight. Anything happen to you? I fight? Yusuf, anything happen to you? Yeah, fight. What happened? Alright.
Damn. Yeah, every time I watch that. That was the second time I watched that.
Sucked.
And
to
that hurt.
watch.
I didn't
Again.
like that at all. That
That was
sad.
not
You just fucked
We
up
had
my
to bring.
mood,
I know,
man.
man. I had
The
to bring
fact
it
that
to
it
awareness
really
a little bit.
happened, that's worse than the horror movie.
That was
Because
terrible.
horror movie at the end, at least you can be like, that's not real.
They can reverse the pressure to like push him out through the other side.
That was terrible.
That on me, like
I don't
something.
They could
But like,
All
all
this
just push your body
science
back
shit we
out.
got.
We not no damn
All the
worms.
science shit we got
no,
in the world,
bro.
we couldn't figure out how to
'Cause,
save
bro,
these
they
people.
had pressure to like push that stuff down so they could have an open of
You saying
air
put pressure down the other side?
and then try to push them out.
I don't know, bro. I'm not a scientist.
This makes
right
me
now, man.
crazy,
It's just,
bro.
it's insane that.
Like, I feel
it's
happy to breathe right now.
Oh, bro, that
From
messed
watching
me up every time. Second time I'm watching it,
And they died so slow.
messed me up the same way. I'm just messed up that it wasn't brought to awareness like the submarine situation, though. I mean, that submarine
Why
situation
wasn't
was
it?
American, pretty much. So,
You know they're gonna bring this
the
up.
news is.
I don't think they were American, were they?
They were.
I'm
French.
Pretty sure
stupid.
they
I'm
were.
stupid. You're right.
I
You're
thought
right.
they were. At least the.
I thought that was
The
European.
company was-
I thought they was European.
No, yeah,
as
no.
well.
This was
Oh, you
overseas
talking about
for
the
sure somewhere.
submarine?
Yeah, this. I think this happened like.
They just posted it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, I don't know exactly when it happened, but it happened like.
In 2022,
February
February.
25th.
Oh, it happened in on
2022.
Okay, yeah. 2022, yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Well,
Goodness gracious.
you know they can't really. I don't think they can like publicize this because I think this is a accident. So
That company's
Where the submarine was an accident, too.
Somebody messed up so bad.
but the submarine
bro.
was like think about
That's different.
two
This is,
different.
yeah.
These two
Submarine-
different.
That's an entertainment thing. They chose to go on that.
This is
a
work.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. This
And
is
this,
worse.
somebody messed up by
They
not
said-
telling them that
They
that
said there's
thing
a
was in
risk
there.
analyst. They're supposed to analyze the
Yeah.
risk. They fucked up.
The risk analyst, oh, he should be
They
Fired.
fucked up.
tar and feathered.
Wow.
I hope they family sue that company.
But man, they better sue them for everything. They better.
He probably, I ain't gonna lie, the risk analyst probably feels so bad.
The
though.
man who made it out, I hope he never.
Oh,
has to
Christopher,
work
I'm
another
pretty
day.
sure he's a hero.
I
Christopher's
bet-
a hero. He
I
did
bet
everything
never,
he
I hope
possibly
he never
could.
has to work another day.
That probably hurts so bad, like, because you know how they were feeling
Bro.
in there. And
Just that, them voices probably replaying in your mind, bro. You work with them, like they seem like they were homies, bro. They taking photos together, bro. That's insane, bro. I couldn't imagine that now, guys. That's insane. Let us know what y'all think about this, man. Sucked into the oil pipe, guys.
goodness gracious, that was.
We're going.
Should have